Good morning. Welcome to Italian Soda Talk. We're here this morning on Lake Okanagan, and we are just enjoying the day and taking in the sunshine and the airplanes and the lack of smoke.
Yes.
Because we don't like hevel.
It's all hevel.
And so all this up to this point has been very cryptic. This is our last week with Caitlin. And so we said, okay, Caitlin, how can we celebrate? And we said, Italian sodas. So that's what we're doing today. And we are just enjoying the beauty of this day and just welcoming you to, we call this coffee talk, but today it's Italian soda talk. And what we do is we just kind of reflect. We connect with each other, we connect with you, we look back on the sermon series that we're going through, and then look ahead and see what else is happening in the life of our church. And so thanks for joining us today. If you've been with us for a little bit, we've been walking through Ecclesiastes, this quest for wisdom, and is that right?
Quest for meaning.
Quest for meaning.
Close.
And that through all of this, we're trying to find, where God is leading through this book of the Bible, that we're being led by this teacher. This teacher is just expounding all this wisdom, but also I think he's also frustrating a lot of us too, because he's also saying, here's reality. Life sucks, but let's have a good day.
Yeah.
So this last Sunday, we talked about kind of living life to the fullest, or realizing that, or maybe our days are limited and numbered. Jeff, you started us off with this awesome illustration of peanut M&Ms, which we all wanted to eat, and it's been so hard holding off on not just taking a giant handful while it's been sitting in the office. Jeff,
Yeah, I know.
what are you doing to us?
Well, I used it as an illustration on Sunday, but really it was a discipleship tool for the rest of us during the week.
You restrain yourself.
It was a good challenge. It was a good challenge. And so the idea was you had this giant jar, and it was just filled to the brim, and you had a couple people come and ask, okay, like guess how many are in here.
Yeah.
And usually they give the person that whole thing, but we gave Chuck a just a little sample. But the idea was 940.
Yep.
There was 940 peanut M&Ms in there, and that was to represent the amount of weeks in a person's life from birth to 18.
Yep.
Which 940 seems like a lot, especially when I'm used to just taking a handful of peanut M&Ms. Just a couple gone, great.
Yep.
Realizing also that, Jeff, you have an over 18, you have some over 18-year-olds.
Yep.
I have an over 18-year-old. That time goes fast.
Oh, so fast.
Caitlin is
I don't have a lot of M&Ms left.
No.
almost 18,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like she's just taking those last
one
few.
a day, 1 week at a time.
And I'm assuming maybe as you're heading towards that number, are you savoring the last few, or are you trying to just gobble them all up and say, get me there?
They're just appearing, and I'm it's like, what?
That's funny.
And so, like, just this idea that we're being challenged by through that whole chapter, like chapter 11, the first half kind of, he's just going through the sense of like, things are limited. Life sometimes we realize is limited. The sun is shining. Let's go have an Italian soda.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to kind of maybe walk away from this. But what he does is he actually starts at the beginning. And like, do you guys have like a favorite paradox? Like, it could be an oxymoron as well too, right? Like, thunderous silence, right? Do you have like one of those in your back pocket that you always go to, like, or something your dad always said that was always like, that's a paradox?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was about to describe my favorite socks. Thank you for clarifying. It's like, what
My
brand?
favorite pair of socks.
There's a line from a David Crowder song that always has stood out to me, and he talks about. I'm trying to remember the exact wording of the line, but the idea behind it is that you gain by letting go. And the best way to receive is first. And so that is certainly one that has stood out to me.
Not a sloppy wet kiss?
We have had this discussion before. Crowder was the one who did not
Yeah.
like sloppy white kiss,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I
He-
think he
he
is wrong
refined
in
it.
that. Because unforeseen kiss just sounds like sexual assault. But and if you've ever had a child just
man.
plant a sloppy wet one on you, I think that's more what God delights in.
That's funny.
Jeff and Caitlin, can you think of any other
Oh, you said the
paradox,
one
not
that
a pair of socks?
I think it came into mind
Pair of
because you
ducks?
said it, but the silence is deafening.
Yeah.
That's one that comes to mind. But now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of anything.
I don't have a paradox either, but I really like that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Some people say Central Intelligence Agency.
yeah.
So the reason I think about that is this verse 1 just kind of hits me between the eyes. Be generous, invest in acts of charity. Charity yields high returns.
Mm.
That feels like
Mm-hmm.
it makes no sense at all.
Right.
Why on earth?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have finances, if I have life itself in my hand and in my grasp, why would I not hold it for myself to make sure that I get to the next day, to do what needs to be done, to invest in things that do have actually high return?
Mm-hmm.
Charity feels like I'm just throwing it away, right? How do we wrestle with that?
Mm-hmm.
And just I find through the next few verses when he's talking about that sense of generosity, and like you have one little piece of gum or one little peanut M&M, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Right? That's a bit of a, it becomes a bit of a head scratcher, and I wonder how many times people look at Christians when they are doing what they're supposed to do, they just scratch their heads. They say that makes no sense. You know, why would you love the unlovable? That person is terrible. They did terrible things to you. Why would you forgive them? That makes no sense, right? And this challenge that I feel like even Jesus brings us to. You know, if you want to save your life, you know, give it away. If you want to keep your life, you must lose it for the sake of the gospel, right? That challenge that we kind of often keep getting, right?
It's a very difficult concept.
Yeah.
It's hard to live out, like when you're actually confronted with something.
Yeah.
Like, I want this,
Yeah.
you know, but they need it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really,
Like
a challenge.
like a piece of gum.
Yeah.
I love that story.
yeah,
I
I did too.
I think one of the things that we struggle with in our individualistic society is the true value of community.
Yeah.
Like we had a conversation like this in Romania last week of the significance of community, yes, but especially Christian community. And there is a cost for that. I think you tried to acknowledge that. There's a cost for community. It opens us up to situations where we might be uncomfortable. We might have to set aside some of our own wants or desires. But what's the alternative of that? Is isolation, and we don't actually look at the actual cost of that.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we were discussing as a group, and I was sharing with everyone, is I think we often will quickly go to, boy, when something tragic happens in your life, if you don't have anyone to share that with, that's pretty awful.
Yeah.
But the reality is, when something amazing happens in
Yeah.
your life, if you don't have anyone to share that with,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
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 And I don't think we really understand that.
Mhm.
And that idea that there is a much larger cost to not having community than there is to having it.
Yes.
And if we're not going to live generous, then I don't think we'll ever have true community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a popular preaching illustration that you may have heard before, but you made me think of
Yeah.
the pastor who played hooky on the Sunday morning and went golfing,
Yeah.
and he hit a hole in one, and he's all excited, and then
Yeah.
the angel says to him, "Who are you going to tell it to?" You know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that is part of the, I don't know, C.S. Lewis, if somebody talks about the joy of, part of the joy of something is saying something about it, you
Yeah.
know, and it's true.
It's like
So,
whenever
yeah.
you get good news, you're just like, oh, who can I
Yeah,
tell?
yeah, exactly. Which is why the gospel's called good news. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta go tell it,
Gotta
you
go
know?
tell it. That's such a good
That's what the
example.
shepherds did right away. They just talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you hear something good, you want to share it.
yeah, yeah.
That always points me back to that Thinking about the gum, or thinking about that. I know it's an old song, but like, song that I feel like we grew up with. Silver and gold have I none.
Oh, yeah.
But such as I give, such as I have been given, I give to thee. In the name of Jesus Christ, stand up and walk. So there's this New Testament story where the disciples are like walking along and they see this guy and he's just in need. And he asks them for some money, and like, we've all been in that situation. And they say, I don't have anything, but you know what I do have that's of value that actually I would love to share with you more and more, right? And like, Jeff, you told that story of Simon Sinek, of like, just this smile and how he saw it. It was kind of like waves, and it just keeps coming, and there's just more and more, because when you smile at somebody, when you take care of somebody, when you're generous with your time, with your resources, with your life, it is amazing how that continues to come back on you. And that makes no logical sense if you are just bean counting every day, or if you are trying to say, my life is my own, my finances, my time, all of these things are my own, and I'm going to keep them for myself. Realizing that you don't, right, like Chris said, you don't have anybody to share it with.
Yeah.
And so community suffers, and I think we're worse off. But yet when we see that generosity like waves, it just keeps coming, and we're surprised because it doesn't stop when we see what God is doing in our lives, what God is doing in our community, like not just our church, but even we heard a couple of times from this last Sunday from our friend Dell from Summerland. The amazing stories coming out of Summerland where devastation, terrible things, and amazing stories of generosity, care. Like, how timely was that for Dell even to say, hey, just be reminded that, like, all the places that you've seen God working, and the generosity being shown there, it boggles the mind. And I think that's the joy that we have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge that brings more joy than you think it's going to, and yet that's not the reason to do it.
Right.
But it's like the icing on the cake. You get to help somebody and see them joyful, and then you're joyful, and it's just that's so good.
That's awesome.
So which comes first? Is it an attitude that says that holds things so loosely you're able, right? Or is it first you start, little acts of generosity? And it's probably both.
I think it's both. It's hard to start.
It really, for me, is just if I am living a generous mindset, it's so much easier to be generous. And actually, it just is kind of like how to be so ingrained that it is just who we are, not necessarily something that we have to work at.
Yeah.
And there's lots of other attitudes. I mean, the passage points out generosity, but there's lots. We could say the same thing about thankfulness.
Oh yeah.
And we could say the same thing about being quick to forgive.
Yeah.
And I guess like merciful, I guess would be the value there, right? Like whatever it is, when that's just so who we are, and it perpetuates and grows.
And if we're not that way, we can become that way through starting, starting a little bit at a time.
And like that phrase that you pulled out, and even at the end of the verse 7 and 8, where he talks about, like carpe diem, live the most that you can out of today, because you have no idea what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow might be absolutely terrible. We don't know what's happening there, but you do have today. What are you doing with it? And I think that's a continual challenge for us as Christians, us as humans, to just say, hey, you got a certain number of M&Ms in the jar, just enjoy each one. So we want to continue to challenge you with that. We're coming near to the end of this Ecclesiastes series. We're a couple weeks away, and so we want to just be thinking about that. We're also looking forward to some wonderful things happening in our community. Jeff, I love that you told the story of like this oxytocin of like caring and sharing and all of these things, and welcoming people.
Warm and fuzzies.
Warms and fuzzies.
Yep.
And is there anything that we can do practically with that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Yes. this Sunday, you can join us for soup. It's going to be warm and fuzzy. No, I'm not going to make it fuzzy. It'll be warm.
Not fuzzy soup.
And
It'll
maybe
be peach soup.
peach soup.
Just sounds like
But we want to have a welcome team meeting. We really realize how important our welcome team is, because when people first walk in the door, sometimes they don't know they haven't been to church before, they haven't been to our church, they don't know what to expect, and so we want to be welcoming. We want people to realize that yes, you belong here. We want to get to know you. We want to help you, and we want this to be a place where you can meet together with us, our God. And so we are inviting anybody who's a current greeter or usher, is what we've been calling, but that's all part of our welcome team. And if you are interested in becoming part of that or just finding out a little bit more about it, we want you there on Sunday, because we're going to kind of talk about how do we be the most welcoming that we can be, the most hospitable people that we can be for those who are already part of us, but also new people that come in. So that's right after the service on Sunday, and there'll be soup, and we'll just talk about that.
Yep. And then a couple weeks later, we have something exciting happening. Caitlin.
Yes, not in any ordinary church picnic, but a church barbecue
Oh,
and
barbecue picnic, yeah.
and baptism
Oh, yes.
down at Green Bay Bible Camp. So that'll be really exciting, because from what I hear, it's quite a time wait for getting a spot down at
Yes,
Green
it
Bay.
is.
So
Yeah.
we're really lucky that we can be there.
We book a year in advance.
Yeah.
We're gonna make the most of that day.
September 9th?
September 13th.
13th.
13th?
Yeah.
Oh, I have nights in my mind for some reason. Thank you for clarifying.
The 13th. So yeah, come on down. Will be a really fun time. Have a good barbecue and celebrate a baptism, which will
Yeah.
be really exciting.
Yeah.
And he didn't just sneak in, but actually Chris has been here like the whole time we've been talking.
Really?
Really? It'd be really funny if you somehow edited me out.
And
Like a voice.
All of a sudden, I just like materialize here on the beach with you.
so if for some reason it's news to you that Chris has been gone, and you just thought, oh yeah, he's been around this whole time,
Yeah.
or if on the other flip side of like, man, he was gone like all of August. No, actually, we're kind of in the middle. Now he's back because the Romania team is back. Chris, do you want to tell us? I know,
Yeah.
around that barbecue time,
The very same Sunday, yes.
we're going to hear from the team, which
Yeah.
is really exciting. We're going to hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you've been following some of you guys online and social media and Strava, we've been seeing some of the awesome things. But Chris, can you just help us get a grasp of like, A, how was your first sleep back, and B, how was the trip?
Yeah.
Briefly.
Things are so good. It's always a challenge because we're in that phase where we are trying to figure out still what happened. Like things happen. And you're like,
Yes.
yeah. And when you're in the moment of it, you're like, okay, this, and this, and this,
Yeah.
and then you're running the next thing. And then you kind of get home and you look back at the big picture of it. And you're like, how did all of that happen?
Yeah.
And what all happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, we did that and we did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And, oh, there's also this thing. And what's fun is that as a group of 9 of us, this ice rattling all video is going to be super awesome for you in the edit. The 9 of us together, all because we all have slightly different perspectives.
Yeah.
What stands out for one, another person might come along and go, we did that?
Yeah.
Because I saw this
Yeah.
and this. And so that's what we're going to work now. This is in some ways the hardest work of all, is bringing all of that together into something that's coherent so that we can share it with the church on the 13th.
Yeah.
And I like to think of it in terms of people. And I think about some of the people that we had really good time with. And so we played. It was great because the second week, I'll share this quick story because I think it's a good synopsis. The second week, there was 12 of us in a house, 9 from North America, 3 who lived there, and we just spent so many hours just in the evening playing games out on this terrace. You've got sheep bleating in the background and random dogs, and then every now and then you hear police sirens because in that part of Romania police are more likely to respond to a bear roaming the street than any other emergency. And so,
Awesome.
and sure enough, in the middle of the night, then I get woken up with like an emergency alert thing, and it's just to warn me to stay inside because there's a man-eating bear on the loose. And we just kind of, because we couldn't go do anything else in the evening, we just hung together, and we built community, and we, shared stories.
Great.
And it wasn't all business, though we did a lot of that in terms of running the camps, because we saw over 2 weeks more than 100 kids at the 2 camps. And so there were so many good moments that come out of that are just life-shaping in so many different ways, right?
And I'm sure there's like so many extra stories to share that may or may not even come to light, but they're there for you in all of your 9 hearts and lives and all that. And that's going to be really exciting. One of the coolest things that we've been doing every summer is we can't even remember what happened through half the summer. Yeah. So we pull out our phones and then we put it up on the screen and we each flip through. Oh, remember when we did that? Oh, remember we went on that bike ride?
Great.
Oh, we went to the lake that day and this person visited. We completely forget that, as we step into September. So to be able to look back. So I'm really looking forward to that
September
Sunday
13th.
you get to share with us. So
that's
thanks
a
for
good
that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing too. I mean, clearly, church, it was so wonderful just to kind of every Sunday especially, but every day know that there was people at home praying for us, and then to get up in front of a church on Sunday and just say, that not just thanks for having us to the church that we were visiting, but to say, just so you know, there's this whole church back in Canada that is praying for this moment, even though they're asleep. They're praying for this moment, and that was really fun to share with churches there.
Yeah, that's great.
So lots of stuff to look forward to as we step into September. And Caitlin, this is your last time with us, but we are so thankful. We'll have more of a thank you later on, but we appreciated you, and it was a good summer, and
awesome.
we look forward to things coming up, and bless you as you head into your rest of your week.